So I just want to do a quick overview of my SMT10 Excaliber build. I started with the SMT10 Builder's Kit, so that I got the black frame, no motor, no electronics, no servos. And then from there, I added rear steering, so the axial steering setup. It's both AR60s are stock besides beef tubes. The builder's kit comes with heavy duty gears, but I don't believe they're the beveled gears, so we'll see how those last. The other thing I did was I added the strengtheners on the lower links and the metal upper links to replace the plastic. Yeah, besides that, the kit is bone stock. One thing I want to talk about on the rear steer that I had a hard time finding information for, and it turns out I was just overthinking it, but obviously with the C-hubs you have your caster angle selections. You can go positive caster all the way to negative caster. On the rear, my head kept thinking I need to put it in the opposite angle as the front, so that going down the road they're all the same caster angle in relation to the direction of travel. And when I did that, it really didn't work out too good. So Axial actually has a video on this that says to make it a mirror image of the front axle, which again seemed counterintuitive, but in the end that's what I did, and it does just great. I have no problem with tracking. When I really torque on it and do wheelies, the body does shift a little bit and turn the servo, but it straightens right out and it looks pretty cool. It looks like a real monster truck doing wheelies, and that's really what I was going for. With the exception of this Arch Designs wheelie bar, I feel like the scale look is pretty authentic. I didn't do the Razorback or the Sportback on here. I hate those, but to be scale for this era of Excaliber, I need one, and I may still put one on if I can find one that fits and looks right with this body. I was going to call J Concepts and see what they thought about the two different ones they offer. What else? Oh, so this body is bone stock besides the cutout for the cross members here and the fender wells. Excuse me. The body comes before cut with the lines to do a more traditional excuse me, a more traditional 88 to 98 Chevy truck fender openings. When you look at the few photos I could find of this era of Excaliber, they're blown way out like this. It was hard to get it exactly scale because this body is not 100% scale to what the Excaliber team used, but it's close enough. And some of it may be that the body is right, but the decal kit I got, and I can't remember the name of the company I got it from, but the decal kit I got isn't to scale, and that's kind of thrown off my vision. Or the fender opening did cut into the door and does cut into the bumper and the corner lights. Probably more so in the corner light than I did a little bit. Back here, this is really close to, I believe they trimmed their body up higher, or their body ended higher in the back. This is the only sponsorship sticker I put on the truck so far. Again, photos of this era of Excaliber for me have been hard to find. I even tried to find videos instead of photos. I have no good shots of the hood to see if anything was on the hood. No good shots of the tailgate. Most people run the long stripe with the hashes that goes from white to blue. And maybe that's because there's more photo evidence of how that looked in this one, or just because it's a little bit flashier, more colorful. I like this setup, but as I go, I may decide to run a body with the other graphic on it also. I do have an extra graphics kit. The guy who sells this kit sells you both styles of graphics, but the one Excaliber sticker. That was another issue with the scaleness of this setup. If you're running this graphic style, the second color on Excaliber should be a yellow, and then this Excaliber sticker should be shifted up so that the red lines up and then the yellow lines up. But I think overall most people aren't going to key into that, and it looks pretty authentic. I'm running, for electronics, I'm running I can't remember the name brand of the servo, but I'm running a Chinese 20 kilogram servo front and back. It was really inexpensive for what it is, and it's doing a great job. It's pretty fast. Aluminum servo horns. Yeah, it just has been working out really well. I did also add the rear sway bar. I don't think I said that yet. Again, just a stock axial front sway bar kit put on the rear. I'm running the lightest bar in the back, I believe, and time will tell on that. Again, I have never competed, so we'll see how this goes. The only reason why I felt like I really needed the rear steer is looking at some of the tighter tracks that they've raced online. It seems like it's really hard to make those corners after the jumps without it, especially with the stock wheelbase. And also because I really wanted this to feel like an authentic monster truck, and if you don't have rear steer, that doesn't feel very authentic to me at all. But maybe in the end this will become more of a nuisance. We'll see. I'm running Hobby Wing Max 10 for my ESC. It was a takeout from another project where it didn't work out, but in this truck it's working really well. I did have a Chinese Ghoul RC brushless motor on its way, but it's taking forever. So I ended up buying a Hobby Wing 3660 4000 kV. I wanted the 4600 kV, but they were out of stock, so again I settled for this. I'm running an 18 tooth pinion. I think I could totally go with a 19 tooth on this setup. I have this setup. One of the benefits is it has a temp sensor that you can plug into the ESC, and then the ESC will shut down for overheat. And so far, it's never done that to me. I've only done a few shakedown runs, but I've got after it pretty hard, and it's been pretty hot when I did it. The motor, I don't think on a shorter racing course I'll ever even get to top speed in this system, so I may even want to go down a tooth. But as far as like temps in relation to the gearing, I don't see any problems. I am running the little guy inside the cab. Even though the SMT10 builder's kit is not a Gravedigger, all the stickers are Gravedigger stickers for the guy. He does come with multiple helmets, so you can run motocross style helmet, or the more traditional racing helmet, or the skull. I did the more traditional racing helmet. I haven't put any stickers on it yet because I'm thinking I'm going to want to paint the helmet some combination of red and yellow. And the other reason why I bring up that he's the guy from the Gravedigger is it's got purple belts. I would like to see Axial make a more neutral colored seatbelt system, maybe a red, so that guys that aren't building Gravediggers don't have to hand paint them, which is what I may have to do. Another thing about the rear steer I wanted to point out is something I never had anybody tell me, or I didn't see anyone mention, is that it limits your rear travel quite a bit. So that's collapsed all the way down to the battery tray hitting the servo. In the front you get a lot more. Time will tell if that's going to be a problem or not. I could lift it up. Right now I'm just kind of running it. If you look, I'm running it with pretty much just straight lower control arms for stability. Yeah, so this is my Excaliber. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please let me know. I will say this, I did blow it by not dyeing these wheels red before I glued on the tires. I hadn't even decided what truck I was going to build when I started assembling this. I thought about doing Barefoot. I thought about doing USA 1, and then I settled on Excaliber. But I think unless someone has a really good groundbreaking suggestion for how to get these back apart without ruining anything, I think I'm going to wait till J Concepts tribute wheels get back in stock, or some white ones, dye those ones red, put some different tires on it, and then just paint the centers yellow. That will really finish the look. Right now it looks kind of incomplete, half-assed. Like I just put a Excaliber body on it because these wheels don't really tie in. Also, their link bars are red, so I may do something here to make these look red. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention also Proline tires and wheels. got a pretty good deal on these. The RC shop I went to, basically we're treating these like old dead stock. They have a ton of the wheels, but only one set of the tires. These are Proline Devastators, and yeah, and then the Proline wheels, the two-piece wheels. They're basically like a clamshell, like a traditional two-piece wheel in in the full scale. It's not like a one-piece wheel with a hub spacer, and you don't have multiple selections. Oh, I will say that's another thing I have a little bit of an issue with, is maybe because my rear end is locked. When I turn, even when I have my endpoint set right, it will sometimes rub on these pleats on the link. Oh, that's another thing I want to mention. So I'm running a Axial Locker in the rear, open diff in the front with 500,000 weight gear oil. But that, I don't know if I didn't put enough in, but that on this truck did not make any difference. Like, it still is super open. Again, just going off of full scale experience, I didn't want a locked front end because I felt like that would really hinder the turning radius. And again, looking at the way they race these trucks, I believe that being able to make those turns on a tight track is what's going to put you in the winner's circle more than anything. In my league, well, I shouldn't say my league, I haven't even raced there, but in the local league to my area, their rules are max 3S and no motor limitations, brushed or brushless. So, in all their classes. The only difference in their classes, so it sounds like it's a pretty small league, is tire size. You can run straight axle trucks, dual motor or single motor, so Clodder or SMT10 or any of the other single motor monster trucks, 1/10 scale. You have to have, in the big boy class, you're running clod size tires, and they have to be monster truck styled, so like the chevron pattern. And that's really their only specifications on that. And then in the smaller class, it's I forget what the 2.2, I think, the stock Axial SMT10 tire in the smaller class. And they don't have like a retro class, because my next build I really want to do, and I have the body for already, is a square body Excaliber on a clod, race clod frame, or on a mild clod frame in the shorter wheelbase. I don't really see any point in building one of these in a short wheelbase right now. Maybe just for fun, once I have a clod under my belt, I'll go back to one of these, but I think this really sets itself apart because it is the longer, more stable wheelbase with the better suspension. You start shortening this up, and I'm thinking you might as well just do a race clod. But again, that's my lack of experience. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's where I'm at on this truck. And, there's still a few things to do to it. I'm probably going to do 2 more bodies for it. They'll all be Excalibers, but I may do the other graphic. But I'm definitely going to do another one like this. That will be like my show pony body, because I've already done some damage to this one just in my shakedown runs, which I will play for you now. Thanks.
that was a good jump.